Hello, folks. It is VE Day today, and I was thinking that I was going to do my next part of Pete's challenge, the MN and O video today, and I have got my films all ready to do that. But as it's VE Day, I thought, this is what fit in tribute, because it's not tribute. It's just I was just going to show some movies that I have in my collection about wars, ones that I think are good movies. And I was looking through them, and there's three that I either can't find or don't have in my collection, and I'm going to run through those with you in a minute. I did actually challenge Pete to do a video today, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to do that today. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my, I don't want to say top 10, but just the war movies that are in my collection. And there's three here that I'm positive that I've got somewhere, and if I don't, I'll definitely be buying them. So I'll start with those, and I've wrote those down, and I definitely have them on DVD. I just can't find them in the Blu-rays. So the first one is We Were Soldiers with Mel Gibson, and that's a story of the first, I think it's the 101st Airborne Cavalry, who used the Hueys, as they call them, in or choppers, I suppose, in Vietnam. And they train these platoons to be the first ones arriving on the battlefield, and they find themselves surrounded by a battalion. I think a battalion's 10,000 men. Could be wrong. I'm not a history buff, but if it is that, and they have to escape. And there's quite a few poignant bits in that film. The one that sticks out for me, there's plenty of action, there's plenty fighting, etc. in the movie. But the sombering moment is when the taxi driver turns up at the door for Mel Gibson's wife in the film, and they've got telegrams. So the taxis hadn't arranged for any other people to go around and send the telegrams. It was just taxi drivers. And he goes up to the door and he's trying to find an address, and she starts shouting at him because obviously she thinks her husband's dead. But they then the wives get together and start going around handing out these letters. And, war movies and things like that are all good, but war's not a good thing, But, and that's what you've got to remember, these historical ones, they are just entertainment. They're not what really happened, but some of them do have some merits. The other one that I wrote down is The Thin Red Line. Now, I remember watching this and enjoying it, but I can't remember much about it. The other one I actually watched the other week there was Enemy at the Gates with Jude Law and Keira Knightley. Or is it Rachel Weisz? It's Rachel Weisz. And I watched that, and that's about the siege of Stalingrad. The other one I must have it somewhere, and if I don't, I'll definitely be getting it, and that's Casualties of War with Michael J. Fox. I think that's another classic war movie. So without that, those are the ones I can't find, or I've definitely own them on DVD, but I can't seem to locate them today. That's the thing with my collection, it's just all over the place. So I've got the war movies that I think are in my collection. So let's have a look. So first of all, I have Battle of Britain, and I can watch this because I've got a region-free Blu-ray player. I haven't actually opened this one, and this is a classic one. I think what's the reason that a lot of these movies just after the war were good, because they had all the leftover planes and things like that, so they could use the real thing rather than CGI. And for a 60s movie, I think that's a great one. Oh, there's a couple other movies I wanted to mention that are not in my collection. The Darkest Hour, which is not a war movie. It's not a war action movie, but it is a movie about the war in the mind of Winston Churchill. That's what I would describe it as. And the other one escapes my memory right now. So let's go back to the Battle of Britain. So as I was saying, I think that these movies are good because they do show a lot less CGI because they've got the real vehicles, etc., the real planes in it. And there's a bit about it, and he writes the letter saying we can't send any more planes to France. I think the guy does a victory roll at the start as well, where they're trying to evacuate from Dunkirk, which is not good. And they're fighting for survival, and these pilots are up there every single day, coming back, coming forward, exhausted, running out of pilots. And there's one scene in the movie where he goes, I think he says something like, "Where's the reserves?" And he goes, "There are no reserves. This is it." And I think it's a really, really good movie. I find myself watching this over and over again. So that's one of the movies that I have in my collection because I like to watch it over and over again. Now, I'll be honest with you, I just picked this up the other day, and that's Dunkirk on 4K. I do have the Blu-ray, but I got this on Music Magpie for $7.99. Do I think it's the best war movie? The truth of the matter is, no, I don't. But I think it tells a story in a certain way. There's an original version of Dunkirk which I've not seen, which I would like to watch. But for $7.99 to put this in my collection, I did see it in the cinema. I think this will be stunningly good. And it tells the story of Dunkirk, where the British forces are stranded. They think the Prime Minister thinks they're all going to die. And then they manage to rescue them with civilian fishing boats, and as many boats as they can. So what would be a good sequence would be The Darkest Hour. The Darkest Hour, yeah. Then Dunkirk. Then Battle of Britain. That's a good order. I might actually do that. I've also picked up this one with Alec Guinness, and I've had this one for a while in my collection, and I think is it a war movie? Yes, it is. It's a prisoner of war movie, and it's about the British soldiers who were captured by the Japanese and forced to build a bridge. And I think this is another classic. I think I've got some really odd taste in war movies. Maybe it's because my dad watched them. I don't mean weird taste, but I actually really, really enjoy this one as well. So I picked up the 4K of that one, and I picked that up a while ago. And it's got the Blu-ray from the good slipcover pack, and it's got the 4K. So again, I really enjoy that one. Try to think about what order I'd watch these movies in. If you've got comments when I've done all these movies, what order you'd watch them in for the Second World War movies, or even the other ones, let me know. Let me know what you think. If I can get this in, it would be good. Let's have a look. Now, I haven't opened this on 4K yet, so I'm looking forward to watching this on 4K. I don't think I've even watched this on Blu-ray yet. But maybe it's the day today to do it, and that's Saving Private Ryan. Now, when this first came out, and the battle scenes of the D-Day landings, people were stunned at the effects and the realism. It wasn't glorifying war, it was showing the impact war can have. And I think that's why it's so good. It's the realism. What a movie that is. Now, I think everybody knows the story of Saving Private Ryan. But if they don't, I'm sure there's far better storytellers than me out there that could tell you. But it's essentially about one group of guys who go off to save another and try and do something good in the war. A Bridge Too Far. I remember the other movie I enjoy watching is I don't think I've got on Blu-ray yet, Battle of the Bulge. A Bridge Too Far, and this is a story of Operation Market Garden. And Market Garden was an ambitious plan by the British and Americans to end the war by Christmas by parachuting into Holland and taking a series of bridges right up to Germany. And the plan was considered really ambitious at the time, and they thought they could accomplish it. But the saying "a bridge too far" is that they went one bridge too far. There's a debate on whether somebody actually said that, because apparently what's supposed to have happened is when the plan failed, is they went to say, well, we could have done it, but we just went a bridge too far. I had a look at that in a historical context, and no one actually ever said the phrase. But Richard Attenborough and A Bridge Too Far. And that is another good war movie. Can't you include the classic Great Escape with Steve McQueen, James Garner, Richard Attenborough? Yeah, another great movie. It's about escaping. It's got a wee bit of comedy feel to it, based on a true story though, and I do enjoy this one. To be honest, I don't watch that as much as the other ones, but it's still worth a good watch. There. What else have we got? Okay, now I've included in this as a war movie, but it's not a war movie, and it is about things that happen in the war, and that's Schindler's List. Now, this is a story, again, more about the horror of the war and one man's... I don't know, I'm not a historian, I don't know, but I do think that Schindler tried at the start just to try and get himself ahead and make as much money as possible. But when he realized what was happening, he tried to save as many people as could, which is an admirable story. Story about change, story about horror and sacrifice and giving up all your money, everything you had, to save people's lives. Now, would you do that in the circumstances he was in? I think you've got to ask yourself that question. I also have Fury on Blu-ray. I will upgrade this one to 4K. I'm just waiting on the right price on it. It does say it's mastered in 4K, but I will upgrade this to 4K when I get the opportunity for a price. Now, with 4Ks, I tend to spend no more than £10 on a 4K. And if I think I can get it cheaper than £10 in CX, then I'll wait. Or if it's like £15 or £16 in vouchers, I'll take it in CX, because I know that I've traded things that I've bought for less to get that. But Fury, again, the tank battle at the end, it's good action. And the realism with the commander Brad Pitt and his sort of like realistic view of the war. It's not about winning the war, or is it? It's about surviving, but if you have to sacrifice your life for the cause, doing it. And a lot of horror in that one as well. So there you go, and that's Fury in 4K. No, mastered in 4K, but I'm going to get the 4K. There we go. What else have I got? Hacksaw Ridge. Absolutely amazing film about a pacifist. That's the wrong word, isn't it? He's not a pacifist. He believes in helping the war, but he doesn't believe in killing people. So he decides to become a medic. And the people that he joins in the camp with feel that he should be fighting, and he should be shooting a gun if somebody's coming at him, things like that. But he sticks to his principles, this guy, and he does some amazing stuff sticking to these principles despite how he's been treated. I think Andrew Garfield's performance in this is great, and also Vince Vaughn as the platoon leader. I honestly think that's as good as Private Ryan. It's just a different film. Great movie. Platoon, the Vietnam War, with William Dafoe and Charlie Sheen. I'll be honest with you, it's a while since I watched this, and I remember it being good. I think to get a full memory of this, I'm going to have to rewatch this again. But I must have watched this 10 or 12 times, but I can't remember it. I remember him at the end doing something like the helicopter going away. But I can't remember exactly what happened, so I'm going to watch that again soon. And is this a war movie? It's a military action movie. But is there a war? Yeah, I would say it is. And that is Black Hawk Down. And I picked that up in 4K as well. And I got that on a $9.99 deal. And it's got the 4K Blu-ray disc, Blu-ray bonus discs, includes theatrical and extended versions of the film. So I picked that up for $8.99. I think that's an absolute bargain for that movie. So this is about Americans in Somalia trying to do a mission, and they get caught out, and a lot of helicopters go down. They get trapped, and they have to fight their way out. True story. And I was just going to think, this movie is really good. I was going to talk about 4Ks in general, and 4Ks in general, I think older movies do look a lot better. I think you get the biggest upgrade with older movies, and this one was shot on film, so that one, I haven't seen it yet, but I imagine this is brilliant. I think I really should sit down and watch these. The reason I haven't is that, I'll be honest with you, my 4K TV is a base model, and I was thinking about getting a QLED before this crisis. A QLED. The maximum. I had a 32-inch TV in my living room, and I upgraded it to the 4K 40-inch. And I thought, oh, that's massive. But the QLEDs can go up to 65 inches and stuff like that. So I was having a look at a 49-inch QLED, and that's why I'm saving these movies, because I think I'll get a bigger impact if I do watch them and watch the 4Ks on that. But maybe it's time to watch them. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this VEDA movie selection. And I hope you're all keeping well in lockdown, and hope you enjoyed the video. If you have top 10 war films, I would appreciate your lists in the comments. I would also like to thank all my new subscribers of late. I've kept up a good, 20 or 30. That's a lot for me. And just means that when I'm doing these videos, people are watching, which is all I aim for, to discuss movies and speak about them. So if you do want to talk about this movies more with me, or speak to me, then subscribe and give us a thumbs up, and we can chat again. Thanks, guys. Bye.